Aloha, guys. I am about to let you in on a little revolution that is sweeping the big island of Hawaii. So let's go on in.
So this is how it starts. Basically, we feed the seeds, one per puka. It depends on what it is. And then it sits here in the mist station. And this will mist 4 times a day. Once this is big enough, which I don't know, I want those to be a little bit bigger. You want them to pop, basically. We're just trying to get the seeds to pop with water only. Then we take it from there. And these ones you can see had just popped. So then I take them over here and I bring them to the flow station. And Alan created this flow station to where twice a day, the water with nutrients in it, only half the nutrients, fills up and just gets the lower portion of these cakey wet. The reason why we do not want to spray directly on it with the solution like we do over there is because the nutrients will just burn this because they're too small. They're not strong enough. So you get it from the bottom. And then once it gets big enough, which, you know, something like this is probably big enough, these little guys, we take them and we put them directly into the table over there. But once I get it to this point, it's like, I mean, you look all the roots and everything like that. Once we get this point, it's pretty much guaranteed it's going to grow.
He's 3 to 4 weeks, and they got full heads of lettuce, kind of like that. That's been about what, almost 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah. It's probably next week it'll be ready for a harvest.
Yeah.
But I like them to get a little bigger, a little more fuller. And that depends on your grow time, is how full you want your lettuce to be. So we got this from the Ohana Greenhouse Supply, and they don't have many of them. Like, it took us a while. We had to get it from Oahu.
We started off with a 3x3. That's the only one they had. So we started with that, but obviously, I mean, we're doing more production. So we finally got to a 4x8, and it's like, this is plenty right now, because you figure, I mean, look at how many's in each one of those. We're talking about thousands we'd have if we filled this up. So that's more than enough.
And we want to help and support anybody that wants to create a hydroponic hut on their own. And that's why the one on 8th and Makuhu at Treehouse Farm, we flow all their stuff here. So we germinate and flow for them. They put the seeds in the pukas, but we germinate and flow for them just because it's a little easier until they get, you know, their flow station going. We go ahead and do that for them. Yeah. They the space.
They need a mist and a flow, but they have basically this setup. So we're bringing this right to their tables right here. And then they have another stand out in front too. So
a solution we use, the nutrients we have in there are 8-15-36. And we get those from the Farm Supply Co-op. We also have mag sulfate in our A solution, and our B solution is just calcium nitrate. That's all it is. So those two. And the reason why you do it differently, everybody's like, why do you have an A and a B? And if you look up Cracky Hydroponics, people will keep talking about A and B solution. It's because if you mix them together, the concentrates, they curdle. So they just don't want to go together. So that's why you have to have an A and B. It just makes it better for high production. And our students, though, they mix it themselves. They do 1 ounce of A and 1 ounce of B to a gallon of water. So the major thing with hydroponics and why we have it covered like this is because you don't want it to rain down in here. If it rains down in here, it's going to dilute my nutrients, right? So then it's going to make it less, less strength, and it'll probably be harder for it to grow. The one thing you do need in Cracky Hydroponics is you need a light blocking reservoir. So that's why you see everything's dark in here, and we have this covering over the top, is because the roots need to be not have light. If it gets light, then it gets algae. Algae will stunt our growth. But let me just show you here. So this has air roots and water roots. So you can see the water's pretty low. It's probably sitting right about there. Yeah. So the oxygen in here has been pretty much depleted. So now this plant is getting oxygen from the air. So that's why air roots are very important. So it's getting oxygen from the air, and it's still getting nutrients from the water. So these are big tables, but we teach our students how to grow them in little storage bins.
Yeah.
Try to find other ways. You can do them in 5-gallon buckets. Anything that's light blocking, you could grow hydroponics in. That's what's the really cool part about it, is trying to find the cheapest way to get the highest quality produce out of it.
Just all the 2x4s, 2x6s, did a little primer paint on it. But we did actually put the what was it? The weed cloth down first, just so any kind of stickers or anything, because you don't want to puncture this at all. Yeah.
Basically, all we're doing is we're creating a big bathtub. That's all this is one big bathtub to hold all the nutrients in there. And 2 cycles in these tables. So we run, we harvest, and then we fill it back up with some more nutrient, and then we can do it again. After that, it's depleted too much. And then we will drain the entire table. And these pumps we have that drain them out. So he drains them out, and Alan will go around the entire property and nourish everything that we have. We made greenhouses. That was one of our projects that we did. And what we did is, this is just an old pallet. So all you're doing is grabbing an old pallet, grab 2x4s, and it's just, you can see over here, it's just sitting on the 2x4s, and you grab one of those see-through tops. We put this around to kind of create a little, enclosed environment for it, and you can grow your bins in there. You can put 3 to 4 bins in there. We've got 14 tables going. Each table holds between 48 and 96 or 98 heads of lettuce.
96.
So we're
yeah.
hundreds a month. So we got started because I was in the ag program at HCC, and my professor, Lou Nakamura, he let us all know. He said, all right, graduates, we have a food insecurity problem. What are you going to do about it? And this was a year and a half ago. And I said, wow, I got this great idea about this U-Pick farm where you can come and pick lettuce, right? Or produce, anything like that. So because we were doing such high production over there, I was like, I can just, copy it and implement it over here. We just came up with this concept. And then we were having people come in here and harvest, and they would come through here and harvest from the tables. But it just got like, people couldn't come on that certain day. And people were like, why couldn't you be open another day? And so we're like, okay, maybe we should put a U-Pick stand out front. And that just sort of happened. We're like, okay, we'll put a stand out front. And before you know it, people are coming to get their produce on their stand out front. People are coming and getting high quality produce with the roots still on. So really fresh. The thing is we can only grow so much produce for the community. So we really want the community to step up and start growing for themselves. And that's why we offer a class. We also, nothing of us is our proprietary information. It's all stuff that you can grab off the internet. But sometimes a lot of people like to have the class and the close knits, and then come and be able to see our farm and actually see everything going. And then it's like, oh, it like hits. So the more people we can train, the more people we can get doing this, and maybe even training other people, the more self-sustaining, we can be. Right. But the big deal about this hydroponics is, 1, no electricity, but 2, we are growing high off the ground. It's very important for us when we're talking about mitigating slugs. When you're dealing with lettuce that's on the ground, if you're in an not protected area, the lettuce, the slugs like to go right in the middle, and that's because the rain comes down and it pools right in the middle. They're trying to get to the water. So a lot of times you won't even know you have slugs in your lettuce until you peel it all apart and see them right down the middle. Our motto is growing Hawaii together, because it's not just growing the stuff together, but it's like growing us together. And it's like, and I'll cry because I'm very passionate about this, and I really care about what we're doing. And I think it's cool. And I never, ever imagined that it would take off this much and that people were going to be so into it, but they are. They're really into it. They love it. And it's catching on, and it's making me so happy. Because it's not about saving money, but it's also about getting our community to eat more greens, because we are like the highest rate of type 2 diabetes in the nation. In addition, this way of growing is really great for our kapuna who can't bend down and get down in the ground. It allows them to have something, because first off, it needs to be high off the table so we get away from the slugs, but it opens gardening to, from our littlest keiki up to our kapuna, right? We only started this 8 months ago now. So July 22nd was our first post on Facebook, and we sent it out there, and we've, gone on the corner and given it away. We've gone to Maku'u Farmers Market and just gave away everything. Everybody's like, why are you just giving away? I'm like, we just want the community to know about this and jump on board on it.
This is so simple. It's like, we could do this for sure. And the mass amounts, like she said, they were growing, was like incredible. So just build it and it'll grow.
Well, I just want to say a big mahalo to everyone out there that's watching and inspired by what we're doing, and hopefully inspires you to take action on your own and grow for yourself, grow for your community, and help us grow to Hawaii together, because that's how we do it. It's not Alan Allison growing Hawaii. No. It's us all growing Hawaii together. And what you do, share your stories, share your food. We'll share our food. Let's all help each other out, and let's experiment and see what we can all do. Just follow us on Facebook, Hydroponic Hut Ainaloa, or Instagram, Hydroponic Hut Ainaloa. You can find us. We post videos on how to do a lot of this stuff. We also post videos on our classes and different things like that. So check us out, and we'll see you soon.
You'll see tons of updates too on that as well. So what we're growing, we have something new, whatever, it's out to stand. So that's where you want to see all the updates.